Hey guys, Kevin here again with the Feeler Group, and every week we shoot a video to help answer any questions you guys have about the real estate market. And one of the biggest questions I get is, what is the best way to make money in real estate? And while house flipping and wholesaling is a quick way to make money, and it's been very easy in the last few years especially, as home prices almost doubled in the last 4 years, the best way to create wealth in real estate has always been rental properties. There's a lot of benefits to rental properties, as well as we start to see the market shift and maybe take a downturn, it's becoming more and more appealing. So there are 4 main benefits to owning rental properties. Number 1 is going to be your cash flow. You're going to receive money every single month. Number 2 is having someone else pay down your debt. So your tenant is actually going to pay down your principal interest and your mortgage. Number 3 is going to be long-term appreciation. Whether the market goes down in the short term, it's always going to go up in the long term, and you're always going to receive those benefits owning a rental property. And number 4 is going to be some extra tax benefits that we can go through. All right, so now that you've decided to buy your first rental property, the first question on your mind is going to be, how do I do it? There's going to be 3 main ways that you can buy a rental property. And the first one is going to be the traditional way, the most common way, and my least favorite way, which is the 20% down method. Most lenders are going to require this, and also the more money you put down, the more money you're going to be making every month, or your cash flow is going to be higher. But what I like to look at is the actual cash on cash return. So say we put 20% down on a $500,000 property, that's $100,000. If we can make about $500 a month off that, that's only going to be about $6,000 a year. When you look at it that way, it's going to be only a 6% return on your money. Now, this isn't going to take into effect the appreciation that you're going to gain or the tax benefits, but based on just investment-wise, when you're looking at investing $100,000, there might be better ways for you to make money than a 6% return. Option number 2 is going to be to buy this home as your principal residence. If you buy this home as a first-time home buyer, you can actually put as little as 5% down. Now, if you're looking at the same $500,000 home, this would be only $25,000 down as opposed to the $100,000. All right, so with this method, obviously you actually have to move into the property, but there's nothing that says you have to live there forever. And I know people might be watching this saying, well, Kevin, you can't say that. If you're buying the home as your principal residence, then you actually have to plan to live there. But you know what? Life happens, circumstances change. You could easily move into a property and after a month decide, you know what, this place just isn't for me, and decide to rent it out. And there's nothing stopping you from doing that. All right, and now for the third, final, and my favorite method, and that is going to be the Burr Method. And that stands for buy, renovate, rent it out, refinance, and repeat. Now this is my favorite method. This is also one that I use when buying my rental properties, and it's the best way to generate wealth with putting the least money down. Now the other 2 ways, you can buy the properties at full market value, so if there's a property you like, you're able to purchase it. With this way, you're actually going to have to buy the property under market value. And so how it works is you're actually going to have to buy it at about 80% of ARV. So that's after repair value. So whatever you think the property is going to be worth after your renovations, you have to buy it at 20% less of that. So say you think the property is going to be worth $500,000 when you're done. Well, 20% of that is going to be $400,000. And if the renovations are going to be $20,000, you need to buy that property at $380,000. So if you buy this property for $380,000 and say it costs you about $20,000 in renovations, then you find a tenant and rent it out. You go to the bank and the bank will say, okay, this property is worth $500,000. We will give you 80% of that value. That's your full $400,000 back in your pocket. And that is where the repeat part comes in, as you can take your initial investment and go do it again. Now this is how I've generated wealth in my real estate investments, and it's something that works even better on a bigger scale. If you can get a really good deal, like we did last year, we found 2 6-unit apartment buildings, negotiated a great price. When we put renovations in and rented it out, the bank actually gave us more back than what we put into it. And this is where finding the best deals is so important, because if you can get a really good deal where you can go to a private lender and get them to finance the whole renovation cost, it's even less money out of your pocket and gives you the more ability to grow this thing even faster. All right, so of course, a lot of you guys are probably thinking to yourself, well, that's great for you, Kevin. You're in the real estate market. You found yourself a great deal, but I'm never going to be able to find a deal like this. I can't even find a deal for market value in today's market. And that's why it's so important that we're shooting this video today, because the market is shifting and the better deals are happening. I'm seeing them every day on the market, And what's so important about this shift in the market is that we're still seeing sellers listing their homes way below market value and creating the bidding war. But the bidding wars just aren't coming for some of these people. And if you find a property that is undervalued their price, way below what it should be going for, and on offer date, there's nothing but your offer on the table, you might be able to negotiate a great price for yourself. You don't know the seller's circumstance. They could have already bought a property and they could be panicking, thinking the market is crashing. It is a great time to get yourself a deal. So if you guys have questions about how to get the best deal in today's market, or anything else I've said in this video, like how to evaluate what a property is going to be worth after renovations, you can always shoot me a message, give me a call, or just put it in the comments below, and I'll make sure I make a video about it in the future. And like always, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next week.